ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 26, Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. So, we are in the discussion where Tanmatras and their interaction is being described. Just give me a minute. So, now we are at text 52. Yeah, text 52. एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमबुद्धैर्दशोत्तरैः तोयादिः परिवृत्तं प्रधानेन आवृतेर्बहिर् यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवता भागवतो हरेः. Translation.
This universal egg, or the universe in the shape of an egg, is called the manifestation of material energy. Its layers of water, air, fire, sky, ego, and Mahat-tattva increase in thickness one after another. Each layer is 10 times bigger than the previous one, and the final outside layer is covered by Pradhan. Within this egg is the universal form of Lord Hari, of whose body the 14 planetary systems are parts. Purport. This universe, or the universal sky, which we can visualize with its innumerable planets, is shaped just like an egg. As an egg is covered by a shell, the universe is also covered by various layers. The first layer is water, the next is fire, then air, then sky, and the ultimate holding crust is Pradhan. Within this egg-like universe is the universal form of the Lord as the Virata Purusha. All the different planetary situations are parts of his body. This is already explained in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. The planetary systems are considered to form different bodily parts of that universal form of the Lord. Persons who cannot directly engage in the worship of the transcendental form of the Lord are advised to think of and worship this universal form. The lowest planetary system, Patala, is considered to be the soul of the Supreme Lord, and the earth is considered to be the belly of the Lord. Brahmaloka, or the highest planetary system where Brahma lives, is considered to be the head of the Lord. The Virata Purusha is considered an incarnation of the Lord. The original form of Lord the Adi Purusha. The Virat Purusha is also Purusha, but he is not Adi Purusha. The Adi Purusha is Krishna. Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adira Govind. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is also accepted as the Adi Purusha, the origin. Krishna says, no one is greater than I. There are innumerable expansions of the Lord, and all of them are Purushas or enjoyers, but neither the Virat Purusha nor the Purusha avatars, Karnodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, or Kshirodaksha Vishnu, nor any of the many other expansions is the original. In each universe, there are Garbhodaksha Vishnu, the Virata Purusha, and Karnodaksha Vishnu. The active manifestation of the Virata Purusha is described here. Persons who are in the lower grade of understanding regarding the Supreme Personality of Godhead may think of the universal form of the Lord, for that is advised in the Bhagavatam. The dimensions of the universe are estimated here. The outer covering is made of layers of water, air, fire, sky, ego, and Mahatattva, and each layer is 10 times greater than the one previous. The space within the hollow of the universe cannot be measured by any human scientist or anyone else, and beyond the hollow, there are 7 coverings, each one 10 times greater than the one preceding it. The layer of water is 10 times greater than the diameter of the universe, and the layer of fire is 10 times greater than that of water. Similarly, the layer of air is 10 times greater than that of fire. These dimensions are all inconceivable to the tiny brain of a human being. It is also stated in this description is of only one egg-like universe. There are innumerable universes besides this one, and some of them are many, many times greater. It is considered, in fact, that this universe is the smallest. Therefore, the predominating superintendent or Brahma has only 4 heads for management. In other universes, which are far greater than this one, Brahma has more heads. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated that all these Brahmas were called one day by Lord Krishna on the inquiry of the small Brahma, who, after seeing all the larger Brahmas, was thunderstruck. That is the inconceivable potency of the Lord. No one can measure the length and breadth of God by speculation or by false identification with God. These attempts are symptoms of lunacy.
This universal egg, Etadandam Visheshakhyam, is the manifestation of material energy. So Brahmanda is the manifestation of material energy. And beyond this, there are various layers. It's layers of water, air, fire, sky, ego, and Mahatattva increase in thickness, one after another. Each layer 10 times bigger than the previous one. Right. Toya adibihi parivrittam pradhanena. Dashottaraihi. Dashottaraihi means 10 times the previous. Dashottaraihi. Right. Within this egg, there is a universal form of Lord Hari, of whose body the 14 planetary systems are part. So we are revisiting this chapter again in this third canto. Previously, we have seen the detailed description of this in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Virata Rupa. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, this universe or universal sky, which we visualize with innumerable planets, is shaped like an egg, and therefore it is called as Brahmand. Now, these words may be very, frequently, or these words may be routine words for Indians, but this is like Bhugola. Bhugola means the earth is round. Modern science took almost like even 500 years back also, they had no idea that earth is round. But we very routinely use the word Bhugola. Similarly, we are routinely using the word Brahmanda, right? But the modern science has no idea till date, with all their scientific understanding, that what is the shape of the universe, because the science is still gasping about the dimensions of the universe, right? So maybe somewhere down the line, maybe after sending few more Hubble telescopes and the James Webb, they will come to conclusion, it is shaped like it is shaped like egg, and maybe another 20 Nobel prizes there. So, but the universe is shaped in the shape of the Brahmanda, Anda. It's oval shaped Anda. Okay. And then there are various layers. And these layers are, the first layer is water, Toya, and then there is fire, air, sky, and then there is ultimately Pradhana. And each layer is 10 times the previous layer. So it is like the mind-blowing calculations. And the planetary systems which are discussed, they are the different bodily parts of the universal form. And all this universal form constitutes something called as Virata Rupa, which is material. This should be very clear, right? Virata Rupa of the Lord is material, because one is assuming the entire universe as Lord. Because sometimes, you cannot, Prabhupada says, one is not able to understand the divinity of the Supreme Lord. And one can hardly understand that, Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayataaksham, and such a personality. The Mahavishnu is coming from him, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshurodakshaya Vishnu, Anantakoti Brahmandas are coming. No, we cannot understand that. Okay, then at least understand this itself. It is like, when you go to jungle and you will see some Adivasis and others, they will worship some mountain as God. They will worship some huge, gigantic tree as God. They will worship fire as God. And that's beginning of worship. And that's perfectly fine. So this is how the Virata Rupa is considered by, those who are just beginning on the path. They are unable to understand divinity of the Lord. They will start worshipping at least the Virata Rupa. So the lower planetary systems, Patala, they are considered as the feet of the Lord. Earth is considered as the belly of the Lord. Earth means Bhumandala, not just Earth, the planet. Bhumandala, which has, like later we will see in the 5th canto, innumerable planets in Bhumandala section. And then Brahmaloka, the topmost planetary system, is called as head of the Lord. So this Virata Purusha is incarnation of the Lord, which one can see with the material eyes, which one can feel, which one can have, then one can say sun and the moon as the eyes of the Lord. So on and so forth, right? So Virata Purusha is also Purusha, Prabhupada writes, but is not Adi Purusha, because every universe will have Virata Purusha. Every universe can be constituted or can be seen as the form of the Lord. And in fact, all other Purushas who are in expansions of the Lord, they are also not Adi Purusha. Of course, every Purusha is a Purusha. They are none different than the Supreme Lord, but still, Ekale Ishvara Krishna. That all these expansions ultimately are emanating from Ete Chamsa Kalapumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Right. Then we are discussing about the dimensions of the universe. And Prabhupada says the dimensions of the universe are so phenomenal that these are all inconceivable to the tiny brain of the human being. We are grasping just to find out the space within the whole of the universe. Right. Current estimation is, we have already seen that 92 billion light years is the current estimation. The boundaries of the universe is what is estimated to be. And it is expanding. The conclusion is that the universe is expanding. And actually, the Vedic science is that the universe is expanding, then it should come to a halt because Brahmaji has already crossed his 51st year of age. Right. So Brahma's life is 100 years. If it is expanding, then contraction also should start by now. And so Prabhupada says, so these dimensions are inconceivable to the tiny brains. And this is, further Srila Prabhupada writes that and this is just one universe. And then there are innumerable universes, Ananta Koti Brahmandas. In fact, our universe is the smallest one. Why? Because it has the smallest number of dimensions, 4, and therefore Brahmaji also has only 4 heads. But there are descriptions, especially Srila Prabhupada quotes Chaitanya Charitamrita, that when once Lord Brahma, our Brahma, he went to, the Supreme Lord, and he went to Dwaraka, and he said that Lord was busy, and so therefore he was asked to wait. And Lord asked the Dwarpal, who has come? And Dwarpal came, and Dwarpal asked Brahmaji, the Lord is asking who has come. And Brahma was bewildered now, who has come? So Brahmaji, he said, tell the Lord that Chaturmukhi Brahma has come. And then the message was went inside, Brahma has come. And the Lord asked him, which Brahma? Okay. And the Dwarpal came out, and Dwarpal asked, Lord is asking you, Lord is asking which Brahma? And our Brahma got completely confused. He said, what do you mean by which Brahma? There is only one Brahma. I am the only Brahma. And then he was giving some identification, and then he said that, tell him that, please convey the Lord, Chaturmukhi Brahma has come, Brahma with 4 heads. And Lord said, okay, send him inside, he's my great devotee. And by the time Lord called all the Brahmas from all other universes, and our Brahmaji, when he was approaching the palace of the Lord, he could see millions and billions of Brahmas are coming. Somebody having 8 heads, 16 heads, thousands of heads. And that time he just offered obeisances to the Lord and just walked out, realizing that I am the smallest fig in compared to the total creation of the Supreme Lord. So our Brahma is the smallest one. So Prabhupada says no one can measure even the dimension of this Brahmanda, which is the smallest one. What to speak of measuring the Supreme Personality of Godhead? It is impossible. And how stupid and foolish it will be to call oneself as God. Right? So that will be extreme stupidity to calling oneself as God or some Baba, Amma, Auntie into a God. That will be extreme stupidity. And therefore, realizing this, he is the Etadandam Visheshakhyam. He is a very, very special, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 53. Hiranmaya Dandakoshat Utthaya Salileshayat Tamavisya Mahadevo Bahuda Nirbedam Kham. Translation? Nirbibhedakam, yeah.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Virat Purusha, situated himself in that golden egg which was lying on the water, and he divided it into many departments.
So now there is further expansion. The Supreme Lord Virat Purusha, situated himself in that golden egg, is lying on the water, and he divided into many departments. 54. Niravidyatyasya pratamam mukham vani tato bhavat vanyavani athanaso prano to ghranaetayoh. Translation?
First of all, a mouth appeared in him, and then came forth the organ of speech, and with it the god of fire, the deity who presides over that organ. Then a pair of nostrils appeared, and in them appeared the olfactory sense as well as prana, the vital air. Purport: with the manifestation of speech, fire also became manifested, and with the manifestation of nostrils, the vital air, the breathing process, and the sense of smell also became manifested.
So this is the manifestation within the universal form. Right. Text 55. So there is a manifestation of speech, then manifestation of fire, then the nostrils, the vital air, the breathing process, and sense of the smell. We are talking about the sum total universal, right? So this is how they became manifested. 55. Granat vayurabh abhidyetyam akshini chakshuyetayoh tasmat surya nabhidyetam karno shrotram tato dishah. Translation?
In the wake of olfactory sense came the wind god, who presides over the sense. Thereafter, a pair of eyes appeared in the universal form, and in them the sense of sight. In the wake of this sense came the sun god, who presides over it. Next appeared in him a pair of ears, and in them the auditory sense, and in its wake the Digdevtas, or the deities who preside over the directions. Purport: the appearance of different bodily parts of Lord's universal form and the appearance of the presiding deities of those bodily parts is being described. As in the womb of mother, a child gradually grows different bodily parts. So in the universal womb, the universal form of the Lord gives rise to the creation of various paraphernalia. The senses appear, and over each of them there is a presiding deity. It is corroborated by this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam and also by Brahma Samhita that sun appeared after the appearance of the eyes of the universal form of the Lord. The sun is dependent on the eyes of the universal form. The Brahma Samhita also says that the sun is the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, yet Chakshuresh Savita. Savita means the sun. The sun is the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, everything is created by the universal form of the Supreme Godhead. Material nature is simply the supplier of materials. The creation is actually done by the Supreme Lord as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Maya Dekshana Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Under my direction does material nature create all moving and non-moving objects in the cosmic creation.
Now there is further creation. In the wake of the Granam came the wind god, who is the presiding deity over the sense. Then the pair of eyes came the sun god and the sense of sight. And then came pair of ears, the hearing sense, and Dig Devata, deities presiding over directions. Later we will see when Bhagavatam describes very beautifully the development of child in the womb, and then we can match with the development within the universe and how we can see the fractal nature. And this all being explained 5,000 years ago. Right. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, appearance of the different bodily parts of the Lord's universal form and the appearance of the presiding deities of those bodily parts are being described here. It is just like, you form a new company and you are forming a new company and you say that, oh, we need somebody to take. So you create a human resource department and there is a HR head. You create a finance department, there is a finance accounts head. You create an operations department and you assign one person as operations head. So here the department is being created and department in charge, right? Department in charge, who are these devatas? They are also being simultaneously being created. So the universe, Prabhupada says, just like the child in the womb develops into different bodily parts, avayava, different limbs of the body, similarly, in the universal womb, the universal form of the Lord gives rise to the creation of the various paraphernalia. So the creation is done by the Lord. The material nature is supplying the ingredients. It is very important. And therefore, the material nature is called as Maya Dakshina Prakriti. The Prakriti is supplying the elements, but the creation is done by the Lord. And from where the Prakriti is receiving the element? From the Lord only. But the Prakriti is supplying the elements. Srila Prabhupada gives example of sun here. Yachakshuresa savita sakala grahana. So the sun is considered as eye of the Lord. And here we see that the pair of the eyes, and then there is Dig Devata sun, who is there. Text 56. Nirbibheda virajastvak romachashmur adyattatah tatah aushadayas chasan shisnam nirbibhedatatah. Translation.
Then the universal form of the Lord, the Virat Purusha, manifested his skin, and thereupon the hair, moustache, and beard appeared. After this, all the herbs and drugs became manifested, and then his genitals also appeared. Purport: the skin is the site of the touch sensation. The demigods who control the production of herbs and medicinal drugs are the deities presiding over the tactile sense. Hare Krishna.
So now there is the tvak that is appearing. Further, there is appearance of the manifestation of the skin and the byproducts of the skin, that is hair, mustache, beard, etc. Then all the herbs and the drugs being manifested, and then the genitals of the universal form, they are being manifested. Text 57. Retastasmat apasan nirabhidyat vaigudam gudadapana apanat apanatcha mrityuloka bhayankaram. Translation.
After this,
Yeah, continue.
yes, please. After this, semen, the faculty of procreation, and the god who presides over the waters appeared. Next appeared the anus and the organs of defecation, and thereupon the god of death, who is feared throughout the universe. Purport: it is understood herewith that the faculty to discharge semen is the cause of death. Therefore, yogis and transcendentalists who want to live for greater spans of life voluntarily restrain themselves from discharging semen. The more one can restrain from discharge of semen, the more one can be aloof from the problem of death. There are many yogis living up to 300 or 700 years by this process. And in the Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated that discharging semen is the cause of horrible death. The more one is addicted to sensual enjoyment, the more susceptible he is to quick death. Hare Krishna.
Then there is appearance of the faculty of procreation, that is semen, and the god presiding over the waters appeared this. And then there is appearance of Guda, that is anus, and then organs of defection, and therefore the god of death, fear throughout the universe, Mrityu Loka Bhayankara. Right. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that after appearance of the genitals, there is appearance of the semen. And then immediately after appearance of the semen, there is appearance of god of death, Mrityu Loka Bhayankara. That means the faculty to discharge semen is cause of death. And that's why brahmacharis, yogis, transcendentalists, they voluntarily restrain the semen, and to the degree one can restrain the semen, to that degree one can expand one's duration of one's life. In fact, in the Ayurvedic text, it is said that, that the Saptadhatu, when they transform one from another, it begins with rasa, and then, the rasa then transferred into rakta then transferred into mausa then transferred into meda then transferred into majja, asti then into majja, and then finally into shukra. Right. So these are the transformations, and it is said that 1 drop of semen actually is equivalent to 64 drops of blood, from the transformative process. Right. And therefore, one should restrain from discharging the semen. And Prabhupada says here, the more one can restrain from discharge of the semen, more one can be aloof from the problem of death. There will be natural glow on one's body. And, this is, and Prabhupada says, this process is very well known. And there are yogis who live up to even hundreds of years, 300, 700 years, by this process of controlling oneself. In Maharashtra, there is a story of a yogi who was living for 1400 years like this, Yogi Changdev. Okay. And he lived for 1400 years like this. Okay, this is a 700-year-old story during the time of Dhaneshwar Maharaj. A discharging semen is the cause of horrible death. And the more one is addicted to sensual enjoyment, the more one will be very quickly susceptible to quick death. So this is how there is an appearance of, the finer aspects. All this has to be time and age appropriate, right? This we have always stressed that the application has to be always time and age appropriate. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा, प्रभु प्रणाम प्रभु जी, शिलपाद की जय, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।